neighbors.
Welcome home, neighbors.
Hello, neighbors.
We're listening from
Arizona,
Florida,
Maryland, New York, New Jersey,
Indianapolis,
California,
Utah,
Michigan,
Iowa, Massachusetts,
Georgia, Canada,
Our home resort is
Animal Kingdom,
Polynesian,
Bay Lake Tower,
Old Key West,
Riviera,
Boardwalk,
Alani Resort,
Boulder Ridge, Copper Creek,
Grand Floridian,
Saratoga Springs.
Beach Club.
and Wilderness Lodge.
And you're listening to
and you're listening
You're listening to My
Good evening, friends. Welcome to the My DVC Points Community Hall Live. We are so excited to have you here tonight with us as we talk about all things Disney Halloween. So we're going to be talking about the Mickey's Not So Scary, Oogie Boogie Bash out on the West Coast, and also the Halloween on the High Seas on tonight's show. And I am super excited because tonight's sponsor is actually the DVC Resale Market. Now, if you have a hankering for some more points because you want to be able to go to all these fabulous events, you know the folks to call. Call them up at the DVC Resale Market. I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day, and she was telling me about how Adonitis hit her hard this year. And she actually has bought 2 more contracts this year. So call our friends over there once that Adonitis hits after listening to the show and hearing about all the great things that you can do out on the West Coast, out on the East Coast, and on the cruise line with your DVC points. And let's bring in our kind of co-hosts for the evening. So we have, hey Gina, how you doing tonight?
I'm excited to be on as a guest. It's a rare opportunity for me. So super excited to talk about the 3 Halloween adventures, and I did 2 of them this year. So I'm super excited.
And then we also have Steve. Hey Steve, how you doing?
Hey
tonight?
everyone,
So
I'm doing well.
So excited to have you both on the show tonight with me to tag
excited.
team. It's going to be awesome. So we also have Rachel who's producing tonight. So thank you, Rachel, for
Step
punching
it
all
up.
those buttons and bringing stuff up and down and all the rest of it. So I think we're going to start off this evening talking a little bit about the Oogie Boogie Bash. So this is an event that I haven't been to, but it definitely is on my bucket list. So I'd love to hear more about what it's like, what kind of fun things are going on. I know it happens in Disney's California Adventure. Do they ever do anything in Disneyland for the same type of party, or it's always over at California Adventure?
They
It's
changed it.
always. Oh, did they change it? It used to be over there, and then they changed it over to California Adventure.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So let Steve talk about first his experience because
First.
he went before me.
Oh, okay. So
well, okay.
you
So
started off.
it was my second year. So this is our second time going. I will say our first time we missed the parade because it did not run to technical difficulties.
Oh no.
And there's no refunds. It's sorry that things happen. So this year we made it a priority that we were going to watch the first parade. Got our spot. It is a really done well parade. The Headless Horseman that comes out first is amazing. I don't know if they have that at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween, but that is a pretty amazing costume. And then the parade is nice. I mean, we got to see all the villains. You see the Haunted Mansion. Just great. I mean, not the best Disney parade I've ever said, but very entertaining, nice and quick. And then I'll see if Gina wants to add anything to that about the parade.
So the only ad that I have with the parade is the Headless Horseman's the best part of that parade. The other thing is you can kind of show up 10 minutes before if you know where to stand. So that's great. You're not wasting your whole evening waiting for a parade, which I really like about that as well.
So where's your optimal spot to like kind of
show up,
whatever, for the parade?
Just show up. So if you just show up over by where they do that water feature for the Grizzly Rapids on the other side of the water where the water feature is, there's never anyone there. It's right next to the reserve seating for the people who buy the dinner. They have a dinner reservation. They have reserve seating. It's right next to that. We showed up 10 minutes before and we got a great spot. I could smell
awesome.
And we also had no problem finding a spot. Basically where World of Color is, right along that edge, there was plenty of spots that we were able to quickly find a spot.
That's great.
Yes.
And so what's the parade route? Where does it start? Where does it end?
It starts near where Goofy Sky School is, at least for the beginning, and then it works its way around to, I'm assuming goes around to basically where Guardians Breakout is.
Yeah, Hollywoodland. It goes through Hollywoodland to Adventures Campus right there.
And then they loop it around. I think it comes the same way because they have backstage, so they can bring it the same route. So,
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I did ask.
Yes. Yes.
And as I
Um,
was asking, wait, I have a little tidbit. As I was asking the cast member, she's like, Miss Grotsky, so former student cast member for that parade.
No.
That was awesome.
That's so cool, though.
Yes, so
Wow.
that was fun. That was my little special
yes.
part about living.
Your little,
Should we
like,
talk
I have
about-
inspired the next generation of cast members. That's awesome.
Should we talk about food next?
Yeah, for sure.
So food, our first year we had a pain and panic churro, which was like sour and then spicy, and it was okay. Nothing special. I've had better. But Gina and I are talking is there's no exclusive really Oogie Boogie food. All that food can be found out through the day. So we did not focus on food at all. We ate dinner earlier in the day, so we could be focusing on the treat trails and eating from our bag as we're going. So
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Same.
I did have a question for you. Do they do just the parade, or is there other like nighttime entertainment that's part of that? Or
They have random or special goofy characters throughout at random times. We saw Lotso Bear from
oh, fun.
Toy Story. We saw Edna Mode. Who else did we see? Oh, we saw Captain Hook. Captain Hook actually was doing a walk by. He was walking down front of Vista Street. And then they have their character trails, which is really what the event
Interactive.
is known for. So all their street trails it's usually walking by, and the characters are speaking and talking better than others. Our highlight again this year was Sid from Toy Story, who has probably the best job in the world because he gets to be sort of
Mean.
snarky with the guest.
It gets pretty mean.
We were dressed the first year we were dressed as Toy Story aliens, and his comment to us was, "Oh, he should toss us to his dog. His dog would
Oh
like us."
my. Oh.
Just great interaction. I also loved Madam Mim. Madam Mim was a hoot, especially
She's fun.
Oh, I
She was
love
fun.
if you talk to them, they'll interact back. The highlight this year was not a lot of character interaction, but was Judge Doom from the
Big Hero 6.
friend Roger Rabbit. So he did the
that's right.
entire
Roger Rabbit.
he did an entire scene where he dips the shoe into the dip. So I mean, very well done. And then
That's
he
cool.
sent us on his way. So
That's pretty cool.
I'd say the treat trails are definitely the highlight. That was most of our nights spinning because they're spread out throughout the park. And then of course Oogie Boogie. Oogie Boogie is inside where they do the animation studio.
Okay.
Very well done too. That tends to be a huge line. We learned that if you're paying attention, there's sometimes when the line is really short and you could sort of sneak in, and other times it's really, really long.
It just depends where you are in the day. In the evening, it's really bizarre. Because
Yeah.
one time I waited the whole 20 minutes. The other time I walked right in. Just
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then
we
no
went-
special like World of Color or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
And then the other cool thing though is Villains Grove. So the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail it's all lighting and music, like the piped in fog, and each little part represents a villain. So with like scary, cool music, and you just walk through the trail. So there was like the Evil Queen, there's the Queen of Hearts, there's Scar. I'm trying to think of who else there is. It's cool because the first time we went through, it's like we don't exactly know who everyone is. And this year we're paying more attention. And that tends to be really popular too. So either you go right away or you have to wait sort of a downtime, because we probably waited 20 minutes in line to go through.
Okay.
I waited
Well, that sounds really
0.
cool.
Yeah, I waited
that's
0
awesome.
because I went during that second parade. So if you go during that second parade, it's a 0 wait. I was going to add one more thing about the food, but it's really the treat trail. What I like is we have healthy treats, so you don't have to have a meal because you can just snack on your carrots, eat your graham crackers, eat your goldfish, eat your chips.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because every trail has about 3 to 4 stations. 2 are candy, and then usually one is either apples or carrots, and
Yeah.
then one is usually like chips or something else. So
And
Okay.
the characters were hilarious. For example, Agatha was like, "Those carrots are poison." Like, just so you know, just a little tidbit. Those carrots are poisonous, so just don't eat them. So
That's
it
so
was very fun.
funny.
I was like, "That's my favorite one." She's like, "Ew, they're poison."
yes. And then at
That's
the
awesome.
end of the night, I don't know for you, Gina, at the end of the night when we were leaving, they had like 4 stations near the exit, which was
Yes,
full bags of
that's fun.
M&Ms.
Oh,
So
Oh,
wow.
we got different stuff. We had Rice Krispie treats,
oh,
M&Ms, just depended on what was.
ours were all big bags of
Oh,
M&Ms.
that's nice.
Oh, that's
That's
so
great.
cool.
So
Because we were there earlier
Um,
in the season. They ran out of those big bags.
and so I guess also to remind folks that Cars Land is also all dolled up for Halloween, right? So they've got like
yes.
Yes. And the sunset, when they do the sunset, they usually do that song, that Shmoo Poopy song. They
yeah.
change it to put a spell on you. So that's really cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. I like
Yeah.
that. That's awesome.
So
Hmm,
it's fun. But nothing
very cool.
special for food and nothing special for just if you're a guest, you could get the same stuff. You can get the same
Okay.
foods.
So we've got a couple of comments. So Michelle says that the dessert party takes a lot of time away from the party. It was a good one and done for my family on
Oh, good
that
to know.
particular type of
I've
day. I could see that. But by the same token, like if it's something that you're doing for maybe a second or a third time, then it might add a little bit of a twist to that as well.
you have good
Um,
viewing for the parade.
okay, that's
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'd
I would
say,
imagine.
yeah. And this time, I don't know if they've done this in the past, but they had exclusive merchandise that was only available during the party. Like these hoodies were only out during the party. During the day, they were not available. So that was sort of nice.
Oh,
That
that's
Everything
great.
sold out by the time I went. There was
yeah,
nothing. There was like one
oh,
T-shirt. I
nothing.
was like, eh. Yeah. So that's the only
I
thing
feel
they
like we
didn't
need
buy
to
enough.
space that out a little bit more.
Yeah. They went into
I'd say that
stores.
it's a downfall. Yeah, we went
Yeah.
early and they were
Yeah.
out of a lot of items, and we
Huh.
were like the second or third week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
That's
that's
too
interesting.
bad. That's too bad.
Yeah.
Any other comments we got there, Rachel, about the Oogie Boogie before we shift over to Mickey's Not So Scary? No. Okay. So let's shift it on over to Mickey's Not So Scary.
Okay.
I've been there a couple of times. Look at you, Gina,
Oh,
and your outfit.
this is my Oogie Boogie magic key. So that's the one thing
Oh, the
that
pictures.
Oogie
Yeah,
Boogie
that's right.
does is they do the magic key photos and it's a special treat trail for us. That was really nice.
I'm loving that sweater.
And then
I
here's
love
Big
it.
Steve and our friend Holly. She's my friend now too.
And there's Cars Land. Look at
There's Cars
that.
Land, and this one, that the little trick that Steve told us, I did my magic band for this one, and it turned out, but Steve said on his band, what happened with your magic band?
Oh, you have to remember they scan your wristband for the party event, but if you don't remember to keep that and connect the photos to your Disney account, then you have no access to your photos. So
Oh no.
that's a little tip. So
Now this is not Oogie Boogie Bash.
it's Dale.
This is actually at Steakhouse 55 Lounge. But there was Goofy's Kitchen. They're all dressed up and they posed for you as you're sitting there. They'll just walk by and pose. And I was like, "Can I get your
So
picture?" And so he
cute.
posed. Held the door for Pluto. And there's Goofy, Goofy's Kitchen also.
Very
Disneyland's just really accessible for our characters. So
That's
anyway,
really nice.
back now we can go to Mickey's Not So Scary.
Now let's do Mickey's Not So Scary.
I went this year. I went September 28th and 29th, or I went September 29th.
Mhm.
And I really enjoyed it this year. I've been in years past. This year we had a different game plan. It was do the treat trails, do some rides, don't wait in line for the characters because I have the best character experiences at Disneyland. I didn't need to do the character experience at
Mhm.
Disney World. So that was cool. I like that it's at Magic Kingdom. I liked that they have the cadaver dance. I like that they have the Monsters Inc. room. Those guys can see you and they're just commenting on all the costumes. We sat there for like 10 minutes as they're commenting on the people.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
I see you're the aliens. Oh, you guys are aliens. That's so cute. Come to Pizza Planet.
That's
It
awesome.
was hilarious. And then the kids are like, is that guy talking to me? So it was very cute to see. They were like, me? Yeah, you. I'm
That's
talking to you,
awesome.
kid. So very cute. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that it starts early enough that you can start doing things, get your wristband, go on the Pirates of the Caribbean, like we did Pirates of the Caribbean. They didn't have the live actors this time, so I was kind of bummed. I really liked that
Did you
feature.
do it before the party started?
We did it when the party, right when it started. And they didn't
They might
have
not
them.
have been
Yeah,
out yet
they
if they're
didn't have
doing it.
Yeah. And then I missed Haunted Mansion. I love that interaction. I missed it this year, but everything else was so great. And just the treat trails were not crowded. I missed all the crowds because I chose not to do the characters this time. The Sanderson sisters is my favorite show. Their show's amazing. I love that.
You
The
can do it right
Frightfully
at the
Fun.
end too, right? Like
Yeah.
that one?
And then you can just leave. And then the Frightfully Fun parade is there, and that's fun. Same thing. It's short, which I like. I like the brevity of these parades. And then the fireworks, they do a themed firework, and that's really fun. I don't remember what it's called, but it's very fun.
So have they changed over the name of the parade? It's no longer
It's Frightfully Fun parade now.
Okay, so it's no longer the Boo to You.
But it's Boo to You. Yeah, they do the song. They'll do a couple of the Boo to You songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then they only run it one time a night.
Oh no, it is Boo to You. Sorry. Land.
I'm
Land
like,
is
are
Frightfully
we
Fun.
getting these mixed up?
Yes, I did. Sorry. It is Boo to You. I'm
Okay,
like, no,
so-
they did the Boo to You song. So yeah.
Okay. So we've got our Boo to You traditional parade, and we also have the Headless Horseman that kicks off that one as well.
Yes.
So that's
Headless
kind of fun.
Horseman going down Main Street, and that's really special. I do enjoy that. And those horses are so well trained.
Gravediggers too.
The
Like, that's
Gravediggers
super
are so
fun
cool.
with their shovels making all
Yeah.
the sparks.
Yeah.
Super duper fun. What was your highlight of the parade when you were there?
The
Boo
parade.
to You.
I'm like, which parade am I talking about? I just like the Haunted Mansion stuff. So
Mhm.
the Gravediggers is always my favorite.
All the dancers are so pretty
Yeah,
as well.
they're so pretty. And I just
Very,
love the
very
dancing.
nice. That's cool. And then did you take in the fireworks?
We did. And the thing that was great about that was they did the projections. And then the next night we didn't go, but they had the fireworks. I could watch the fireworks from the beach at Polly. So it was so nice. I got them
Awesome.
twice.
That's really fun. We often like to watch the parade as well as the fireworks from back in Frontierland because it's a little bit more spooky back there, especially for the
Oh.
parade. So it's a little bit darker. You can like line up on either side of the street. So it just makes it a little bit more like, I don't know,
Yeah.
spooky, because it's dimly lit there anyways. So
Right.
it kind of feeds into that kind of dynamic of the
I should have done that because I had to line up a little earlier to be near the castle. I had to miss a little bit to go.
Mhm.
Yep. So that's for next time.
Yeah, exactly. And especially if you can watch like the Sanderson sisters, the Hocus Pocus show right
Yes,
at
and
the
then-
end, then you're not missing out on really anything.
Right.
And then often we'll be back in Frontierland anyways. I'm not like a huge fireworks person, so we'll watch them from like Big Thunder or something
Yeah,
while
you
we're
don't need the
riding back.
projections.
Exactly. I feel like they're nice, but like
But you don't need
I
them
don't
every
know.
time either.
Exactly. Take advantage of the fact that there's like really no one in any of those lines.
Yes,
and
that's so true.
have some candy back at the Tom Sawyer station or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that you didn't catch any of the actors at Pirates of the Caribbean.
No.
I'm wondering if anybody else can comment on that.
I know
We didn't
that
go
is
this
there.
year,
That was
so,
And then, the one thing I did want to talk about was the food. So they
Mhm.
do have specialty food at this party too.
Ooh.
So we did Sleepy Hollow but the problem is you can't order it early. So if regular people are there, you can't order food. I'm like,
Oh, that's interesting.
why don't you just look at my wristband and let me in the line? They're like, we shut everything down until 7 p.m. So that was kind of annoying. So 7 p.m. we got in the line for the char siu wings, and Brandon did not enjoy those, but I got the cinnamon apple funnel cake. That was
Ooh.
so good. That was my dinner. That was my lunch. It was so good.
That's
I
delicious.
highly recommend the Sleepy Hollow desserts for the Oogie Boogie, or not Oogie Boogie. The Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. That was really good. That was the specialty food that I tried. But I was so bummed about that 7 p.m. deal.
Yeah, so I have a quick question for you. In the past, they used to allow DVC members into the parks even earlier than the regular folks. Are they doing that again this year, or it's really just 4 o'clock for everyone?
I am an annual pass holder at both, so I just use my annual pass to get in.
Yes.
whenever I
okay.
want. So I don't know.
To touch on the base, Oogie Boogie
Yeah.
guests are allowed in at 3. But again,
great.
if you already have a park ticket for that day, you could be in earlier, which is sort of the tip of we got in earlier. We got our wristband much earlier, so we didn't even have to wait in line for all that. So
That's awesome. And then did you get your wristband at the front of the park, Gina, or you went to like one of the
I
stations that have
went
further
to
in the
Pirates
park?
of the Caribbean back there to get the
Okay, that's great.
wristband.
Good, good,
Yeah,
good. So good
no
for folks
line.
to know that you can get it like in different locations throughout the park. If you're already in there for the day, you don't necessarily have to go straight to the
Yeah,
the
don't wait in
entrance
that
at 4
line.
p.m. Yeah,
Make
exactly.
your park reservation for that park. That was really
Yeah,
that was great for Oogie Boogie and for
exactly.
That's So Scary.
Do you
And can,
know if they are opening up that bypass to allow people in for the Halloween party for Mickey's Not So Scary?
They did not while I was there.
Okay, cool.
can you
All
say
really
more?
interesting. Yeah.
But can you say more about like the special characters like at Pirates? Gina, what are you talking about?
Oh, when you're in the ride, there are characters dressed up talking to you. So we were there and she's
Oh,
like,
that's
"Oh,
cool.
I love your glowing whatever I was wearing. I love your
Yeah.
glowing necklace. Oh, thank you. You know, you're talking to me. Yeah, I'm talking to
Yeah.
you. Like it's so cute. Like they'll talk to you in the
That's
ride.
pretty
And it's
cool.
not scary. It's just silly, you know. So it's not that's why
Exactly.
it's not so scary. They're just silly. And
That's
then
it.
when you're in line for Haunted Mansion, same thing. She'll talk directly to you.
It's Madame
She's on the
Leota. Yeah.
yeah, she's on the grassy knoll and she'll talk to you. And
Yeah.
it's really interactive.
It's
But I didn't
fun.
have Pirates people.
Hmm.
That's my highlight is talking to the Pirates people. I love that. That's a highlight for me. So not
That's
having them was
great.
kind of bummed. I'm like,
That's
oh,
really
and then
cool.
someone else mentioned it too, because I do know there was another gal and she's like, they usually talk to us. What's going on? So
Exactly. So do we have
yeah,
some pictures from Mickey's Not So Scary?
we do.
They
And they're coming up. And
are
I
they are
had
coming up soon.
yeah. I didn't take any photos this time. I was so bad. I was like just enjoying
You
the
were
treat
busy bee?
trails and going in the rides. I was in the
Oh,
moment. So
that's
these are
awesome.
Rachel's photos, but that's okay. They're of the parade and they're of that's me. Oh,
There's
that
one
is
of
me
you.
before. So this is what I
Fun.
wore. I was the tiki room.
I
So
love
that's why I
it.
took a picture. That was my tiki room outfit. And I'm wearing Trader Sam's. So yeah, they have the characters out, but they're not dressed Halloween. So it's a little different than for us. And then, yeah, look at the spooky graveyard. It's so cool. And there's the Booty parade. Yes.
I
See,
love the Boo to you.
it's
It's
cute.
like such an earworm.
Yeah,
You're stuck with it in your head for the rest of the week.
it's so good though. It's a great
Yeah,
one.
for sure. Super
So
fun.
cute. I love the pirate ship.
Me
That's really
too.
cool.
That's great. So cadaver dance are like my favorite part, I would
Oh
say,
yeah, they're
of
so cool.
the Mickey's Not So Scary. I love listening to them sing.
Yeah, and
They're so
I do love the decor at Magic Kingdom. It is very fall.
yeah, exactly. They do a great job with making it very, very spooky, so that's good.
Yeah.
Do we have any comments from folks about the Mickey's Not So Scary?
No. Rob
I'll let
says howdy.
oh, howdy.
Howdy, Rob.
Howdy, Rob.
Oh,
He's at
nice.
the grounds already now.
Enjoy.
Why are you watching us? Go do something fun.
Enchanted Rose is still open. Go.
Yeah, exactly. Go have some fun.
That's great.
Head
Enjoy,
on over
Rob.
to Trader Sam's. Like,
Exactly.
so that's okay. So no other comments for that. That's fine. So now we'll talk a little bit about Halloween on the High Seas. So we actually this is our second year doing that. We love the Halloween on the High Seas. I think each one of the cruise ships does it a little bit differently depending on
Yes.
like how they
Which
set it up.
ships were you on?
Dream and Magic.
Okay, and then I was on the Wonder. So yeah, we
Yes.
had
So
different experiences.
we've got a bunch of them covered. And then I have a bunch of friends who this year did the Wish for Halloween on the High Seas. So I think every ship does it slightly different. Like, for example, last year, I don't know if it was a product of COVID, but we were doing our trick-or-treating out on deck. So that was interesting. And then this year, we actually did all the trick-or-treating around cabanas, which I found was really interesting. So they just had like a lot of different people from across the cruise ship. They actually had like DVC Debbie in there giving out
Oh
candy.
yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of like the DVC people were handing out the candy as like, to help out. So that was kind of cool. But the costumes were just great. Everybody really went to town on it.
They're so
Um,
good.
yeah, and then they do two kind of activities. So they'll do a kind of dance party, Halloween themed dance party for the first sitting. So whoever, if you're in the first dining or the second dining, so they'll start with the second dining people. You'll have your party and your trick or treating and all that stuff before dinner,
Mhm.
and then it'll flip for the people who had the first sitting, you'll do the vice versa. So it was really fun. They've got all the characters out on stage with their Halloween costumes. They look
so great.
awesome. Throughout the entire day, they have them all over the ship doing meet and greets with their Halloween gear on. They've got Clarabelle, Minnie, and Daisy dressed up like the Sanderson sisters, which is like super
Best.
duper cute.
That's the
And
best.
they also have regular costumes as well. Like they don't just have the
Right.
Sanderson costumes. They have other kind of Halloween costumes as well. And then they'll do like the whole stage show up on deck. So that's always really, really fun. They do some of the Boo to You, like kind of music and things like that. And then we actually this year had the new Haunted Mansion movie had just come out.
Cool.
So like this summer, so they did a showing in the theater of the Haunted Mansion before they had like a magician that had done like a show. So that was also interesting. Then for the last year's, they had the new Hocus Pocus movie that had just come out. So they did it in the Walt Disney Theater as well. So they'll show those movies in the larger theater instead of having like one of the stage productions, which is fun. So you kind of get your popcorn and your popcorn buckets, either my
Yeah.
Zero or my Mickey that I got back there. And
I
then
did
you,
that. I did Nightmare Before Christmas sing along, so you could sing
oh,
along with
that's
the movie.
fun.
So we did that,
I
and I
didn't
had my
see that
popcorn
as an
bucket.
event. That would have been super fun.
Well, you had
That's
two
really
other
cool.
movies. We didn't have either of those. We had Nightmare
Mhm.
Before Christmas sing along. That was all we had. So, but then we got to meet
That's
Jack and
awesome.
Sally at the end of that, and so did the kids. They got to meet Jack and Sally. So
No way, that's so cool.
yeah.
In our case, like they had a bunch of characters kind of petered all throughout the ship. So you can
Oh,
meet them at different locations all over the ship. So like, they would have the Minnie and gang as Sanderson sisters at one location. Then you could kind of run over to a different location for Jack and Sally. Sometimes they would have like multiple characters at the same location. So you would just basically like
Go
on deck
around.
5. Yeah, exactly. We would just go back into the
Well,
line
that's
for the
good.
next one. Yeah, it was great. It was really fun. And then like they didn't really have anything like they do like some treats on the menu that are supposed to be like ghoulish, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like over the top or anything for the dining
I even
selections.
said, I don't remember. It's been for me 5 years. I don't even remember any specialty food that was different than the typical menu. So I just got my normal salmon, got my normal lobster, got my normal thing because it was my normal rotation. So
Yeah, exactly. So there wasn't anything like over the top. I do know last year they did have like specialty cakes. So the desserts are a little bit more Halloweeny, like
yeah,
they'll play up into that a little bit more. So that's fun as well. And then they'll do like more like themed dance parties over the course of the
yes,
evening as well that they'll do, or like more Halloween themed trivia or things like
right,
that are on
yeah.
that night for like the adult sections of the ship, which
And
is fun.
then I was
Mhm.
going to ask you a question that went away. Oh, about the candy choices. You had better candy than I did on mine. We were talking about this pre-show. So what were the choices?
So we had like a lot of candy bars, so like the mini candy bars, and then we also had like lots of M&M products. There was like Laffy Taffy. They had also Skittles and Starburst and that sort of stuff. That was kind of the main stuff that we came back with.
Yeah.
They don't, however, give like they'll see how many kids you have in your stateroom, and they'll give you the number of bags that you need for kids, not for
Oh.
adults as well. So
Oh, I got to
they
trick or treat.
yeah, I don't know. We only had 2 in our room, and then I heard it over and over again, like, oh, like the cast members would ask, "Where's your bags?" to the adults, and they'd be like, "Oh, we didn't have any in the room." So it was not something that they had readily available. But if
Oh.
you did want to trick or treat as well, then you could just grab one from one of the
They let
cast
us
members.
trick
They
or
had
treat, but
them.
the candy choices were the worst. It was Tootsie Rolls, Tootsie Pops, maybe. I don't remember the other one. It was just bad. I was like, this is for the students because my neighbors will egg me if I give this to them.
Maybe there was a sponsoring with that. Who knows?
It
And
might
then
have been.
I can't it's usually on the first night of the cruise, when you're on a Halloween on the high seas cruise, they'll do a lighting of the Halloween tree, and so that's
Mhm.
kind of a fun ceremony. So they'll have someone who comes out that kind of harkens back to like the a haunted mansion, the person who takes care of the graveyard. So that type of like they've got the lantern and that sort of thing, and then that's it. So you have like the Halloween tree,
So pretty.
and it's just like it's a lighting up of the Halloween tree with like music and everything in the lobby, and they've got all the lighting effects and stuff going. So it's really fun. And I've all the Halloween trees are a little bit different as well on all the different cruise ships.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun as well. So depending on which sailing you're on, which cruise ship you're on for the Halloween on the high seas, your tree will look different, which is kind of nice.
That is
So
great.
it's fun.
That's so fun.
Yeah,
That is so
exactly. So there are a couple of pictures that I had sent over. I don't know if you want to pull those up, Rachel. We can go through them quickly. And did you enjoy your experience on Halloween on the high seas? Do you know when you did it?
I totally did. The only letdown for me was the candy choices because I'm so spoiled with Oogie Boogie. And even that was my problem. That was my problem with Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. My expectations were like, oh, good, I'll have some snacks for the
Yeah.
rest of my trip, and it's all
No.
candy I gotta take home. So
Yeah, exactly. And we tend to like theme our costumes. So I haven't downloaded my pictures yet, but we did like a loosely themed Peter Pan theme for the whole
oh,
family.
fun.
So yeah, so this is where we entered into cabanas and they had like the banners up and stuff and they decorated a little bit the area and had us go around, and then
They're
we
so
had the
cute.
Sanderson
Yeah,
sisters.
adorable.
Yeah, they're so cute. And then we had Tama and Evie with Goofy, who's in
Love
a
Goofy.
skeleton costume. I love that skeleton costume. And then the
I love
kids
this.
with
Yeah.
Jack and Sally. The interactions I have to say on the trip, on the cruise ships are a little bit longer, which is nice. Like they really, went into like talking to Zero and talking about how much they love Zero and the rest of it with the kids, which was kind of fun.
That was nice.
You do have to be there pretty, like I would say a good half hour before Jack and Sally, but
Wow.
that's way less than you would have to wait at the parks for Jack and Sally if you wanted to do that at the
True.
parks.
True.
So, waiting half an hour, not a big deal out of your day, considering that if you're in the parks, you would probably be waiting like a good hour or so, maybe even longer to go and see them. So that's kind of a nice thing. And it was the same thing for the Sanderson sisters. It was about half an hour, and we just kind of like sent people off. And then there you go. So Daisy was in a different costume at a different point during the day.
Yes, her little witchy.
So,
That's her witchy poo. It's so cute.
so cute. So adorable. Yep. And then we got the kids with Donald in his superhero costume.
Oh,
And yes, my kids like to match. And then there's a bunch of special merch. That's always what I find interesting on the cruises as well. So like they had like a bunch of Hocus Pocus type merch, and then they had the ones that were for the Halloween on the high seas, the actual like spirit jerseys.
that's a
For
cute
that.
one.
Yeah, very, very cute. And they had like special ears and things like that. And I noticed when we were down at Olani at the end of August that they also had like a whole Halloween collection for Olani as well. So no matter where you are at one of the Disney parks, resorts, ships, doesn't matter where you are, there'll always be something that's a little special for the Halloween season aboard the ships or at any of the resorts, whether it be Land, World, or Olani. So that's kind of fun as well. Yeah. Yep. So do we have any comments from anyone about their Halloween on the high seas? Oh, how many nights is the cruise? So, Rachel, that's a great question. It depends on your sailing. So there's multiple ones. So, for example, some of them were only 3 nights, some of them were 4 nights. It depends on which ship you're on as well. So, for example, the Wish only does a 3-night or a 4-night itinerary. So you can be on one of those and do kind of like a shorter stint for Halloween on the high seas. So it depends on actually the cruises that you're taking.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a 7-night, depending on which ship you're on, then they'll do one of the nights. That's the Halloween on the high seas night.
Yeah, I
So
did
that's
a
really
4-night.
fun.
I did a 4-night. And I can't remember what I think it was. One night was the pirate night, and the next night was the Halloween on the high seas night, and then you get off the ship.
Yeah, exactly.
That
So
was
usually
cool.
they'll do an arrival night, get everybody settled into their rooms and whatnot, and then the next one will usually be Halloween on the high seas, and you'll usually have a pirate night, and then it'll be your last night on the cruise ship. So it can your pirate night can be that last night on board.
Yeah.
Which is fun, even if you're on a 3-night. So
Yeah,
that's really fun. Yeah,
I like the 2 nights of dress up. It's always fun.
I know it's super cool. And then do you find yourself planning a vacation just for this holiday party? That's a great question as well. We love the Halloween season for us to be able to do something special for that time of year is great. How about you guys? What do you think?
Yes, we plan a trip just around Oogie Boogie for the beginning of October. So
That's great.
So
Yeah.
I make sure I do Oogie Boogie every year. I don't want to miss. After I skipped it one year, I said I'm never going to miss it again. Because I did Mickey's Not So Scary, and I missed Oogie Boogie, and I said, no, sorry. Again, for me, it's the interaction with the characters, and just our treat trails are so well done with having the characters there, having the villains there, and then our treats are just better too. So we get the M&M bars, and the Reese's and the Rice Krispie treats and whatever.
Yeah,
sounds like I'm gonna have to coordinate with one of you for next year.
Oh, so much that our friend Holly because Gina and I were on a cruise and we had awful internet reception, so we had our friend Holly
Get our tickets
using our
'cause
Oh, that's
account to
awesome.
buy our ticket because Oogie Boogie sells out pretty quickly. So
That's awesome.
That's the other thing, though. You need to commit in June. Like, you need to commit because those tickets are gone. If you don't
Yeah,
make up
they
your
go
mind
quickly.
June, whatever day it was, June 24th, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's not like the Halloween party at Walt Disney World where you can kind of stretch it out for a little bit. There's
Yeah.
still tickets available for the Christmas party at this point as well. But they do sell out. So I always tell folks, make sure if you think that you're going to want to do this as part of your planning, then let's plan for it and buy those tickets right away so that you can get them
Yeah.
and have them available to you.
It sells
Mhm.
out in seconds. So you have to
Yeah.
make sure you get in that queue and you have to commit.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
surprised with that much demand that they haven't decided to run more nights of it because it seems like it's something that's really, really popular.
The reasoning for California, the reason they don't do it is they're losing revenue because it's not at Disneyland. So they have to do it's Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday.
In what sense?
Revenue if they are losing revenue for Disneyland because Disneyland stays open later on those nights.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
So
Gotcha. In that sense. Makes
yeah,
more sense.
it's Tuesday,
That's
Thursday, Sunday.
interesting. So Frederica, hi. I must be the Halloween equivalent of Scrooge. Been on several of the Halloween on the high seas, except for the Wish, and I didn't do
3 night.
on 3-night. First DCL cruise was Wonder, but my town was burning to the ground, so festivities are on my
Oh,
mind. Oh boy.
oh no, that's why. You have a colored perception. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Did Halloween at Disneyland, but it was not called Oogie Boogie, so that
Right.
must have been the previous permutation.
Yeah.
And then the best part was Phantasmic.
It was called Mickey's Halloween Party, and it was equivalent to Mickey's Not So Scary, but we didn't have the characters talk to us at all at Disneyland. So I actually liked Mickey's Not So Scary for the character situation. But for the treats and for the interactions, forget. There's nothing beats our interactions. Nothing. So
That's awesome. That's cool. And then
yes.
Frederica said yes. Yeah,
So, yeah.
I'm really sorry about your town. My goodness, that's scary. That's really
And now
scary.
her Octobers are very scary. She has to check because it's fire season. Because we have 4 seasons here: fire, hot, cold, and wind. So those are our 4 seasons.
Sounds lovely.
It's beautiful 90% of the time, but we have those 4 seasons: fire, wind,
and then Gray May, which is an extra season.
Cold. That's why I said cold. We have cold, hot, fire, and wind.
Gotcha. Any other comments there, Rachel?
Oh gosh, yeah. Frederica's just saying it's all of our seasons are happening at once right now.
Yeah.
They're happening all.
They're all happening tonight. There you go.
It's wind, it's cold and hot all at once.
Yesterday we had lovely weather, and now it's very, very close to snow temperature. So it was shorts weather yesterday, and today it's snow temperature here. So I feel it goes all over the place as well here. That's great. Well, folks, if there's anything else that you wanted to give kind of on your recaps before we go, what was your favorite thing, I guess, about Mickey's Not So Scary, Gina? And then I'll ask you, Steve, for Oogie Boogie, and I'll tell you my favorite thing for the Halloween on the High Seas. So what was your favorite thing, Gina?
For this year, my favorite thing was that Monsters laugh floor. Having those characters talk to those kids and the kids going, "Is he talking to me?" It was the best. We sat there for 10 minutes. It was great. Anyway.
I love it. That's
great. Again, it's the treat shows with the interactive characters that are the highlights. So
awesome.
I also forgot they have Ernesto from Coco playing the guitar. That is an awesome costume, probably the best costume of the night.
The best.
But Sid still wins hands down
with the funny,
hilarious.
He brings the funny.
So cute. I think my favorite thing on the Halloween on the High Seas is usually the tree lighting. I think it's spooky. It sets the tone for the rest of the cruise, and it's special. It's not seen at any other theme park, so it's unique to the Halloween on the High Seas. So that would be my vote as far as the kind of special thing that they've got going on there. Well, on that note, should we call it an evening, folks?
That's a wrap. I hope you guys find something fun for Halloween next year.
Definitely recommend it.
Well, I'm doing Oogie Boogie for sure, and I might do another Mickey's Not So Scary. So we'll
Well,
see.
I'm pretty sure we'll end up doing another Halloween on the high seas. We really like cruising that time of year. It's fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
So thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you to Gina and to Steve for tag teaming with me on tonight's show and talking all things Disney Halloween with us. We are so happy to have you all with us tonight on your Sunday evening, taking the time out of your day to spend it with us as we talk about our love of Disney and DVC. And we're really excited to see you again next week. Thanks again to our sponsor for the evening, who is DVC Resale Market. So if you need any of those extra points, you can just pop on over to their website and check out what they have as far as their current offerings. So for myself, for Gina and Steve, thank you folks, and we'll see you real soon. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, please watch your head and step as you exit, and take small children by the hand.
Aw, chill up, Dad. You know we'll come back. With DVC.
My DVC Points is an unofficial Disney-inspired podcast created by fans of Disney Vacation Club. The thoughts expressed in this podcast are personal opinions and personal experiences. My DVC Points is not affiliated with Disney Vacation Club, the Walt Disney Companies, or any subsidiaries. We encourage listeners to contact their DVC guide or member services for official DVC policies.